What's up everyone, it's your boy NS Racing 97, aka Nathan Stapleton here, and welcome everyone to Watkins Glen International, the only road course racetrack on the season. But it's not just one, we have the first ever double header event, and it's the Watkins Glen Double Header. And this is such a big event, it's special for multiple reasons. First ever double header, and first time ever we are going to have radio style here at Watkins Glen. And we will have two different crews in both race 1 and race 2. Here in race 1 for Live 355, I will have Alex Graham and Anson Lee up here.
Yeah, I guess I'll get started. Yeah, looking forward to this one. I don't normally see too many races on the short version of Watkins Glen, but definitely make things interesting. It's very fast racetrack, considering that it's only 2.5 miles, and these guys are going pretty quick around this place. But excited to see how it all goes down here for this first edition of this doubleheader at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, for sure, it's gonna be very interesting of what ends up happening. Brand new version never been here before, but it's gonna be very interesting of what happens for the Verizon 355. And Anson, here's a question to you. Normally we use an older version, but the tire is a factor. The tire is not gonna be a major factor. How do you think that might play out with a wholly different version and with tires not being a factor?
Well, it'll be interesting to see kind of when they pit, if they pit. I believe that it's 21 laps, so there's a good chance that they're going to pit, especially if there's not a caution. If there's a caution, then that kind of narrows down to they're going to pit then, hopefully, if it's far enough into the race. But without one, I don't know. I feel like we might see two different strategies, honestly. You pit early and you try to undercut those that are trying to stay out as long as they can on those tires. But it'll definitely, I don't know, I imagine these teams will take what they learn as we see the 50 get into the wall there. I imagine these teams will take what they learned in race 1 and transfer into race 2.
Yeah, most likely, and that's the unique thing, is that we normally don't have a double header, but we have a double header in this case, and each dual race is 23 laps, so total it's going to be 46 laps of information for these drivers, and they're going to have a lot of info for that second duel. And it's going to be interesting what happens here in Uncharted qualifying, because it's still 10 minutes like it's been all season, but with such a big track, it takes over a minute to get around this place, not a lot of time. But so far, 4 drivers at the in time, and it's one of Kennington fastest out of those 4.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if these faster times happen earlier on in the run or not. But, even though it's a 2.5 mile racetrack, these guys get around here pretty quick in terms of, road course speed. So it'll go by really quick for the race later on today and tomorrow. So excited to see how it all goes down in terms of that. But, yeah, we'll have to see who gets it done here in Uncharted qualifying. Which driver is it has been doing really well? I keep on forgetting. I know we've done a couple of them is making a lot of these races.
Lance Smith Jr. has made the most, I believe, in 9 races entering this one. He's been the best one, and then Transqueen's made a bunch, the number 27. And those have been the 2 main ones. And then there's some drivers like Eric Flash and Ronald Kennington that has unfortunately not made that many this season. But Lance Smith Jr. and Transqueen have been the best so far, and so far, they are not done a time yet. They are the last 3 have not done a time, and so far is the 44, the 50, 62, and 66. The top 4, the 3 drivers left to do a qualifying lap. And we have to see if what the draft might do with this being such a fast road course, and Ronald Kennington right there in the number 44, right behind the 55 position on the 3rd, not done the time yet. But I think he's on his first qualifying lap here this time by, and have to see what Club Peugeot the 3rd can do. See what Lance Smith Jr. can do here. AJ Flash went to the top of the 4th, and Lance Smith Jr. goes up to 5th. Clint Green is going to go to 9th, the slowest so far. And Club Peugeot the 3rd He's actually already done a lap, and he just went up to third. So I think these tires keep on going faster and faster. And Carl Pachon, he went from 9th to now 3rd in that number 55. It's Clash, Kennington, Pajano the 3rd, and BPUS the top 4 with 4.5 minutes left in Uncharted qualifying.
Yeah, the longer these guys go, I mean, usually that second, third lap's going to be the fastest lap. And then the longer these guys go, the slower those times will get. But, you know, they take a couple laps to really warm up, get that full speed in. And seeing that right there of the 79 of AJ Crash going to the top of the board there kind of midway through this session. So that may be the pole time right there. Or not the pole time, I should say. But the time that advances on be the fastest time here. But like I said, top 4 advance on. So it really doesn't matter if you're in any of those positions, 1 through 4. We'll have to see. AJ Crash, though, can stay the fastest here in this session.
Well, Parrish in number 26 just jumped up to 4th, bumped out the number 50 of Les. And Twin Screen just moved up to 2nd in the number 27. So both the team has split machines now. Inside the top 4, actually, the 55 of Bajab is now in 4th now. So because of Twin Screen going up to 2nd, he accidentally bumped out his teammate Will Parrish out. 3 minutes left here in Uncharted qualifying, and it's still Flash, Green, Kennington, and Bajan the 3rd here in the Verizon 355 qualifying, or Uncharted qualifying. And we've not really used the chicane yet. That's one thing that I forgot to mention. This is a totally different version, totally different layout. Never really used the chicane before, and that might be a very interesting place to see all weekend long with both races, and have to see what ends up happening here. But Command Screen is in 2nd, and Les not looking good in that number 50 machine.
Yeah, Ruiz is just outside that transfer right there. Now down to the 7th position as we get the 55 moving his way up inside the top 4. And you mentioned the chicane. I think that's going to really play a big factor in how well these guys can make moves on the racetrack. You really have to slow down for that corner. That's a slow. These guys are going to lose a lot of momentum going through that chicane compared to how it used to be. I mean, obviously you used to use the full version of the racetrack, and you skip the chicane and keep that momentum heading into the carousel. It's a great passing opportunity. Now, the carousel really isn't there as a passing opportunity, but the chicane itself is, as you see the 44 make a move on the 55 here. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers utilize that chicane as essentially just a new part of this racetrack for these guys.
Yeah, we used to do for all 3 previous seasons, and we skipped the chicane, but now on the short layout, and we saw right there, Ronald Kennington, he had the inside, but then on that last turn up the chicane, got on the grass and kind of lost all of his momentum. So might be interesting of how that plays out all the way along. Might be a very tricky spot to make the pass work for him, but it is still Flash, Kennington, Green, and Bajan the 3rd here in Uncharted qualifying for a minute and change left. And so far, Lance Smith Jr., he's made the most races so far this season, but he must not have a good road course out because he is slowest out of everyone here in Uncharted qualifying. But this number 33 machine is unfortunate because he's made 9 out of the 12 races so far, but so far he is the slowest here in Uncharted qualifying.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Lance Smith Jr. is going to make it into this one. I think at this point the tires are worn out too much for anyone to really gain an advantage, so top 4 that you see right now will probably be the top 4 that make it into the race later on the day. AJ Crash, the fastest driver there in the 79.
Looks like he's gonna go back out, maybe go faster or something. He doesn't really need to, but Lance Smith Jr. just went up to 5th. He's gained time.
Take back what I said.
he might still have a shot here. They're probably gonna add some time on the clock, so he's gonna get at least one more lap in most likely, and Lance Smith Jr. might bump out Carl Pachon the 3rd at the last second here. These guys gonna get another minute to finish up the lap time. And I'm gonna keep an eye out on Lance Jr. because if he went from 10th to 5th last time by, he does not need that much to. Oh wait, Troy Gossett actually went up to 4th in the number 66. Now Lance Jr. is in 6th place. So now instead of the 55, now Smith Jr. has to beat the 66. The other NBM car. See Lance Jr. off turn number 7. Looking pretty good, but will it result in a top 4 spot at the last possible second? No, it does not. So I think he might allow his stuff on the previous lap just to get up to 6 and Troy Gossett, kind of out of nowhere, gonna make it into the show for the Verizon 355, and looks like that's gonna do it.
Not quite. Still 30 more seconds there. These guys going to complete their time, so might see someone sneak their way in right here. It's possible.
It's possible, but probably not gonna happen. The only one that we really have to watch out for is maybe Woods and Smith Jr., but they're not gonna get back around in time. So I think that's gonna do it. And it does. And there is the 4 drivers that will make it into Uncharted qualifying: AJ Clash, Grant Screen, Ronald Kennington, and Troy Gossett. And everyone else will unfortunately have to wait for the second Uncharted qualifying event for the Watkins Glen Double Header. And we saw some interesting stuff right there, and have to see what happens later on today for the race 1 of the Watkins Glen Double Header. What do you guys think might happen here at Watkins Glen?
I think we're going to have an interesting race, no doubt about it. But I do think whoever starts in that front row is probably going to have the best shot of winning. Now, factor in the cycle of pit stops, there could be some strategy in play there, but you definitely have to start at top 10 to win this race. I don't think anyone outside the top 10 starting positions will have a shot at winning tomorrow, or today and tomorrow.
I think it really just depends on who can avoid the wrecks, if we have any, and where they occur in the field. Because if you have one up near 12th, 13th, in certain parts of this track, it can block the track, and everyone behind them runs into it, gets some damage, and ultimately could be out of the race.
Yeah, that's a great point. This track is a fast track, but it's also a very narrow road course, so there's not really a lot of room for error. And if a track gets blocked in front of these guys, it could cause some chaos. So, have to see what happens later on today. For the Verizon 355, three races left before the chase begins. It's gonna be a wild one for Anthony and Alex Graham. I'm NS Race 97, aka Nathan Stapleton, and we will see you guys later on today for race 1 of the Watkins Glen Double Header. Bye.